Hello class, so the first step in this project is to find a plant that interests you. And you're gonna want it against a white or evenly painted background, okay? So that you can focus in on the negative spaces. So don't choose something that has bricks or stone or something that can be very distracting. Okay, now so we created our viewfinders so that we could try out different compositions. Now you could do your composition this way, or you could also do it this way, landscape. So landscape or portrait, it's all up to you. But what you're gonna need to have is you're gonna need to have 3 sides where the plant touches the edge. Okay, so find a composition that interests you. Also try it from different angles. So once you have your plant, you have it framed, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to draw a crosshair on your 18 by 24 inch paper as well. And remember, we're doing this on the 18 by 24 inch paper pad. Okay, and you're going to want to draw it right down the middle. So it's 18 inches across, which means that you're going to draw a very light line on number 9, around at 9 inches. And then you're going to draw one on top at 9 inches. And then you're going to want to draw this line across. And you want to keep it pretty light, okay? Don't draw it too dark, because you're going to erase this later. It's just a guideline. Okay, and then you're going to do one lengthwise. Okay, so this is 24 inches. So you're going to do one at 12. Okay, and you're going to do another one at 12. Okay, and draw that across. And then in this next step, you're going to need a Sharpie marker. And when you use the Sharpie, you want to make sure that you have a lot of airflow, or you may even want to do it outside. So open a window, open a door. Okay, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to draw the negative spaces. Okay, so the negative spaces are the spaces around and between the positive shapes. So one way I see students do this, and this is not the way you want to do it, is they'll draw the leaf. Okay, so let's say I'm looking in this area right here. I see a leaf. They draw the leaf. You don't want to do that, okay? Or they draw this trunk. You don't want to draw the positive shapes and then fill in the negative shapes. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to just go right directly to drawing the negative shapes. So let me erase this. And this crosshair is going to work as a reference point, okay? So when you look to draw your negative shapes, you want to look to see where it intersects on this crosshair, okay? And you could look to see, okay, so if I look at my picture, I could see that in the bottom right quadrant, there's a negative shape right here, okay? Which is on the right side of the trunk. Okay, and so that's the way that you're gonna wanna use this crosshair, is to see where it intersects with negative shapes. Now don't get too obsessed with proportions, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. Just use your crosshairs as a guiding force. Okay, and then I go right here and I see that in this quadrant, okay, the upper right hand quadrant, there's a negative shape right here, okay? Just looking for all these white spaces and I'm drawing them. Okay, in some cases you might get a little off, but like I said, don't worry too much, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, now I'm gonna go back to here. I'm gonna go back to the lower right hand quadrant and I see that there's this leaf, okay? that intersects right here. Okay, and the right side of that leaf goes over into this lower right-hand quadrant. Okay, and then goes back right here into the lower left-hand quadrant. Okay, then I see that there's this negative shape right here. Okay, and then I see that this leaf goes into the lower left-hand quadrant. And I'm drawing the negative spaces, okay? I'm not focused on the positive spaces. I'm just drawing the negative spaces. If you want, you could even here. In this case, I'm just going to draw from the other side. Now I know I'm doing this from a photo, just because of the logistical difficulties of doing it from life and recording it. But you're gonna want to do this from direct observation. So you're gonna want to have your viewfinder in front of you when you do this. Okay, at least until you get a good sense where things are at, where the negative shapes are at. Okay, so probably some fine tuning I could do this, but you get the idea. And then what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to come through with your Sharpie, and you're gonna want to fill in the negative spaces, not the positive spaces. Okay, so you're gonna go through, and as you go through this, it could be helpful just to look at what you're drawing and to get all the little subtleties. And you're going to fill these in. When you fill it in, you can turn it a little sideways, okay? I'll make the line bigger. Okay, now I'm not going to go across the entire, drawing here, but what you're going to do is once you've outlined it in Sharpie, you're going to want to fill in the negative spaces. Okay, like I said, it's helpful if you turn the Sharpie on its side and you fill it in that way. Just be sure you fill in all the negative space all the way to the edge of the drawing. And if you want, there's also a really big Sharpie. It's like this thick. You could also use that one to fill in the edges. That might be easier. Okay, now I'm not going to do the whole drawing, okay, but you can see what you're going to have to do, okay, is fill in all this negative space with black Sharpie. And if you have two Sharpies, you can always give one a break and then jump to the other one. Okay, and so on. And just make sure once you're done that you erase all these pencil marks, okay? I don't want to see any pencil marks in the final work. Okay, and so on. And then just also be sure to fill in any of these white spaces within the negative space, okay? Make sure your edges are nice and sharp.